stillness is the masculine foundation. And here we're going to define it and talk a bit about it. We can define stillness as our capacity to remain present, non-reactive, and stable under pressure, under different stimulus. So stillness, it is not passivity, it is not inaction, it is not withdrawal. Stillness, it's not even being still and not doing anything. Rather, stillness is being unmoved unnecessarily. It is when there is a latency, when there is a pause, when there is a gap between stimulus from the outside or from the inside, from our inner world or the outside world. When there is a gap between that stimulus, external or internal, and our frame and our response, that is stillness. This is why stillness is the foundation of the masculine. Because if stillness falls, then the whole structure falls as well. In other words, if we are easily moved out of our frame, if we are easily moved, and by easily I mean reactively moved or triggered by the outside or inside stimulus, then the rest of the structure, of the masculine structure, and we talked about it in previous videos, so containment, direction, penetration, action, then all of that will follow in the same way. It will fall. Now, stillness, it is a masculine essence and a masculine trait because, and again we talked about this before, at the metaphysical level, at its highest abstractions, the masculine pole represents emptiness, represents awareness, and the field in which the feminine pole will play. So the masculine emptiness and the feminine content bring about creation and experience. Now, if we see the masculine as awareness as such, and emptiness, meaning the space in which content arises, that space is unmoved by the content, by the movement and the energy of the feminine. So now if we take that metaphysical reality into a layer down, into a more operational, mechanical, practical, behavioral form, that is stillness. Stillness, in other words, is the behavioral echo of the metaphysical pole of the masculine. What is awareness in behavioral form? Stillness, being here, unmoved unnecessarily. Now, a word on presence and stillness. We have to make a distinction here because there can be a confusion, but there is a distinction between presence and stillness. Presence is description. It is being here, now. Now for stillness, stillness is not so much a description, it is more of a function. It is more of a behavior. It is, we already defined, being here, non-reactive, or choosing the reaction under pressure, under stimulus. Someone can be present without stillness. Have you ever found yourself reacting emotionally to something and being aware at the moment, having that self-awareness to notice that overreaction, that emotional overreaction, and still not being able to stop or correct the activity? Well, I'm sure you have. That is presence without stillness. That is the difference. Presence is one thing. Stillness, you can have presence without stillness, but you cannot have stillness without presence. Stillness is presence plus the ability to regulate, to choose. Its function is to prevent overreaction to stimulus, to prevent collapse under pressure. It's the ability to stay present when emotion is overwhelming, when pressure is overwhelming. Healthy stillness doesn't explode and doesn't withdraw either. It stays here present and makes a decision.